Hello everyone, welcome to SI UK India webinar. Thank you for joining us today. We are now live with the University of Bristol. We have Elena and Neil with us today, who will let us know more about this special webinar session. Please feel free to post all the questions in the chat box on the right. We will answer all the questions after the presentation during the Q&A session. So let's start. Over to you, Elena.
Hi everyone, and thank you Deepika for the introduction. So yes, like Deepika said, my name is Elena and I work at the University of Bristol. So I am the School International Officer for the School of Management. So I work on behalf of the school on behalf of all things international, and yeah, which is why I'm here today speaking to you. So welcome to Bristol. Hopefully in this presentation, it will give me a bit of a chance to talk about Bristol and talk about why you would want to study with us. Obviously, I think I'm joined today by students interested in both undergraduate and postgraduate study. So I'll be talking a bit generally about the School of Management, and then I'll be talking about the university, and we'll go into a bit about accommodation and the student union as well. If you do have questions, please do ask them, and I will answer the questions at the end of the presentation. So I won't be answering any during the presentation. So the University of Bristol was founded in 1876 as the University College Bristol, following a desire from the city to establish an academic and university culture within Bristol. Since then, the university has grown to become the research-intensive institution that we hope you know today. The university is part of the Russell Group of institutions, which is a leading group of UK institutions and was a founding member in 1994 when the group was formed. Bristol is also part of the Worldwide Universities Network, which is a leading global higher education research network of 22 universities across 6 different continents. We have a commitment to developing graduates fit for work, and we are recognised as one of the most targeted universities by employers. A recent QS World Ranking put Bristol in the world's top 50 for employability, and the UK's High Flyers report has identified Bristol as one of the most targeted by UK employers, placing us in the top 10. So we are currently going through a transformation with an additional campus at Temple Quarter, which will include new accommodation, centre for innovation, and many specialist research facilities, including and a new library, which is in the centre of our Clifton campus, which is going to include 4 floors of books, periodicals, and journals, as well as social spaces and areas for exhibitions. And we also have our newly completed Campus Heart project, which is a brand new meeting point for all students where you can eat, relax, study, and get involved with the Global Lounge and the Students' Union. We are located in the southwest of the UK, in the region's largest city, Bristol, hence the name. And I'll be talking a bit more about our home city later in the presentation. So we can see here Bristol in numbers. We were joint 5th in the UK for research in the most recent Research Excellence Frameworks results. So that was published only about a month ago. So we're very excited to be in the top 5. We're top 10 in the UK for marketing. We're top 10 in the UK, like I said, in the QS World University rankings, 62nd in the world, and we're a top 20 for UK University for Business and Management, according to the Complete Uni Guide. So yeah, we're really kind of at the cutting edge and the top of our research here. We are proud to be a research intensive university, and this means that when you study at Bristol, you're benefiting from our culture of research excellence. We use our passion, expertise, and cutting edge techniques to make an impact on the world and to inform our teaching. Our academic staff are at the forefront of their subject and are actively working to solve some of the biggest questions facing the world today. I'm going to talk a bit more about research themes within the School of Management later in the presentation. But you can see on the slide a bit more information about what kind of facilities we have, 9 libraries, an IT service desk, managed study centres, and like I mentioned in the previous slide, building Temple Quarter, which will have a focus on digital, business and social innovation. So now I'll talk a bit more about the location and the city of Bristol itself, because if you do come and study with us, you'll be living here from anywhere to 1 year to 4 or 5 years. And so I think it's really important that you're somewhere that you enjoy and that you know a bit about. So here we have some photos of Bristol. On the far left on your screen, this is Harbourside. So this is where a lot of music concerts happen. There's lots of places to eat, and it's where a lot of students hang out. The central photo is, you can see Brandon Hill Tower, and that is actually the tallest point in Bristol. We're a very hilly city. So the tallest point, if you walk up to that tower, you can have fantastic views over the whole city, and it's free to go up, but you do have to go up a lot of steps. And then on the right is another picture of Harbourside. So again, lots of students like to hang out here, lots of places to eat and sit and have a drink as well. So this is a map of the UK, and you can see our location, the big dot towards the bottom of your screen. So we're located in the southwest of England, which is around 100 miles from London. We're the UK's 8th largest city, and we have great transport links to other cities. So it's really easy to get into South Wales. Cardiff is about 45 minutes, which is the capital of Wales. It's about an hour and a half on the train to London, and you can get to other cities like Birmingham, Liverpool, Leeds, Manchester very easily by train as well. We're really close to beautiful countryside and coastline. We're surrounded by the Mendips, which is an area of outstanding national beauty, which is about a 45-minute drive outside of Bristol, and you can also get to the South Wales coastline in about 45 minutes. So it's a really beautiful place to be. We also have great international connections, mainly because of Bristol Airport, which is about, again, a 40-minute drive outside of Bristol city centre. So it's very easy to get to places in Europe and further afield. So yeah. We are a city with soul. So the university is at the heart of Bristol, and Bristol is recognised as one of Europe's most exciting and creative cities. We're a very green city. We have over 400 parks and green spaces. In the Rough Guides in 2017, we were voted as the #1 coolest UK city to live. We were also the UK's greenest city in 2019, the 3rd most cultural and creative city in the UK in 2019, and we were voted the best place to live outside of London for under 26-year-olds in 2019. So there's a huge amount going on here. We're a multicultural city, and we care for the environment. So we're home to people from more than 187 countries, and people in Bristol speak about 91 languages. All faiths and none are welcome, with at least 45 religions in the city. And as a result of this, there are restaurants and shops from all different backgrounds and cultures, and they stock food from all over the world. So you can find pretty much anything here. We're also, like I said, we care for the environment. We were the former European Green Capital in 2015. We're the UK's first cycling city. And in 2018, Bristol City Council became the first UK council to declare a climate emergency. And we've made a pledge to become carbon neutral by 2030. So we are taking steps to make ourselves more carbon neutral and environmentally friendly. Here we have a few things that you can do in the city of Bristol. So I've listed different things from arts and culture, nature, shopping, events, and there's a huge amount more. I won't read through all of them, but you can see, I'm sure lots of you have heard of Banksy, the street artist. So you can see a huge amount of Banksy street art all over the city. I think he did recently paint something and there was a big reveal, but there are lots of ones all over, including the famous one of the man dangling out of the window. I don't know if you know it, but that's on Park Street, which is really close to where a lot of you will live or have your lectures if you do come and study with us. We've got theatres, like I mentioned, we've got lots of parks and lots of events like the Bristol Balloon Fiesta. That often happens in the summer, and you can see it's really beautiful. You see the balloons just all over the city. It's great. and Europe's largest street art festival, Upfest, which also takes place in Bristol. So yeah, great place to live and to be. So there's just so much going on here. It is really a brilliant place to live. I'll talk now a bit about the School of Management. So I've talked quite a lot about the city and where you'll be living if you do study with us. But now I'll talk a bit about the School of Management and why you should study management here with us. So our courses bring a social sciences approach to the subject, and we bring in expertise and insight from areas such as gender equality, sustainability, and international business management and social relationships. So there's a huge amount of different things that you can study. And because we're such a research intensive university, our academics are at the forefront of their fields and they are doing leading research in their field. We were first among UK business and management schools to declare a climate emergency. So like I said, Bristol as a city and as a university, we really care for the environment. And we have excellent civic links. And the city of Bristol is well known for its innovative business environment. So that, yeah, we're a really great place to study and definitely at the forefront of research. I've put down some research themes here that you can see within the School of Management. So sustainable production and consumption, global political economy, work futures, inclusive economy, just to name a few. And some of the other research themes include stuff like the effects of gambling advertising on children. And if you do have further queries about any of the research themes that we do, please do feel free to ask them at the end of this presentation and we'll be happy to elaborate. So a bit about accommodation. I understand I didn't talk too much about the School of Management, but like I said, you can ask us any queries you have about the courses and the programs at the end and we'll be able to elaborate. I know a lot of you will be doing undergrad or postgrad, so I don't want to labor too much on either or. Accommodation basics. So we guarantee an offer of accommodation in one of our residences for the first year of study to all UK and overseas undergraduate students. So this is only if you're undergraduate, provided that you have firmly accepted an offer of study at Bristol, you're coming to study at Bristol for the first time, and you apply by the deadline. Each of our residences include support and security services available to you 24/7. There is a lot of choice available in terms of the number of residences that we have, the different rooms on offer, and whether you'd like to be catered or self-catered. So catered is when food is provided for you, self-catered is when you cook for yourself. These buildings are spread across 3 different villages, which I'll show you in the next slide. Many of our residences include extra facilities such as music practice rooms, fitness facilities, and dinner halls. There are also many social events happening to help you get to know your fellow housemates and others living in your village. If you're looking for private accommodation, our accommodation services also have lots of advice to help you secure residences that are owned by private companies and landlords. For postgraduate students, if you are an international student, which I assume most of you will be, coming to study with us for the first time and you apply by the deadlines, you are guaranteed an offer of accommodation in your year of postgraduate study with us as well. So you can choose to live in halls, or if you would prefer, you can live in privately owned accommodation. So you can see here, I mentioned the villages earlier, so you can see here the cities, so the different houses. So North Village, we have up here at the top. I don't know if you can see my mouse, but if you can, I'm circling it. So up here at the top of the top left of the screen, and that's about a 20-minute bus ride from campus. This really is only for undergraduate students, and you're about, the bus pass is free, so you don't need to pay for the bus, and it will take you to and from campus. This is popular, but it tends to be, it's a bit further away, but there's a really big student community up there. East Village, which you can see is kind of the bottom right of the screen. This is really popular with international students because of how central it is to the city. You're right in the heart of the city, you're close to Temple Meads, and you can get onto campus by walking within anywhere between sort of 10 and 25 minutes. And then West Village in Clifton, which is the kind of light blue houses. This is probably the closest to campus, maybe, again, depending on where you are, anywhere between a sort of 10 and 20-minute walk to campus. But this is in the beautiful location of Clifton. The next few slides, I have some pictures of the types of halls that you'll be in. So you have here Baydock, University and Churchill. This is probably for undergraduate students. You're not guaranteed a double bed. Obviously you can see Churchill has a double bed here. You are not guaranteed that, unfortunately, but it might happen. We've got Waverley House here, the print hall and the courtrooms. These are all in East Village, which is more central to the city. And then we've got the West Residential Village, which is in Clifton. So we've got Clifton Hill House, Goldney Hall and Orchard Heights. So yeah, it really depends what you like and where you want to be, but we can offer you kind of further advice about that if you get in touch with us. I'll put our contact details up at the end so you can take those down if you need. So I'll talk a bit now about well-being and visa support. If all of you are kind of living in India, you will need a visa to come and study with us. And so, yeah, I'll talk a bit about the support services we have in place for that. So all our support services are accessed through our wellbeing services, so that students don't need to worry or you don't need to work out who you need to speak to. You just let us know what you need help with and we work out who you need to see. So don't worry too much because we will help you with that work. But yeah, you can see here some of the student services support networks we have. So student wellbeing service, multi-faith chaplaincy, disability services, BAME-led counselling, student counselling services. There's a huge amount available. And then student inquiries, we have funding advice, paying your fees, academic support and general questions. So we have support available to you if you are struggling both academically or with your mental well-being. In terms of dedicated visa support, now I'm not qualified to give visa advice, but we do have a dedicated team of advisors here to assist you both before you arrive and throughout your studies. So we have lots of visa information on our website. You can see that bristol.ac.uk/visas is probably the best one to look at. So if you want to make a note of that, please do. And our immigration rules are subject to ongoing review, but you can find lots of information and advice on our website. And then once you have applied, our dedicated visa support team will be able to advise you. So if you're looking at postgraduate study, we have a graduate visa, a post-study work visa. So this is eligible for undergraduate and postgraduate study, and it gives you permission to stay in the UK for at least 2 years after successfully completing a course in the UK. So this means that you can find a job here and work a bit in the UK. And then if you want to, you can apply for a further work visa, but there is that option to you. So I'll talk a bit now about our students and our community of students, because we have a really diverse community of students and it's great to kind of talk about them. So you can see here we welcome students from more than 150 countries. A quarter of our students come from outside of the UK, and we have so our student body is diverse, and this the 150 countries that we have make up around a quarter of our students, and about 25 of them come from 25% come from outside of the UK. This diversity doesn't just stop with our students. Our staff hail from all over the world, making our classrooms a place where debate and experiences from around the world complement the academic curriculum. We are a medium to large university by sort of UK standards, with just over 27,000 students studying with us across both UG and PG courses. You can see here a bit where our students are from. So obviously these are just some of the 150 plus countries represented at Bristol. India is there, so you can see we've got over 300 students from India, but yeah, ones from all over the world, and you really do feel that when you come here. You meet people from all walks of life and it's brilliant. So we can see here in terms of management statistics. So at postgraduate level, 96% of our students come from overseas. So if you're looking at postgrad study, it is an incredibly international community. And yeah, from 27 different countries. So there's a huge range. Undergraduate is slightly less international heavy, but we have 36% from overseas from 38 countries. So although there's a lower percentage, we have a more diverse range of students at undergrad level from 38 different countries. So from India, in the School of Management for the 2021-22 cycle, we had 96 students joining us this year for master study and 5 joining us for their undergraduate study. But that's obviously just in 1 year. So we do have more across the different years of study. Here we have Shritika. Now, she was a student from India who studied MSc Marketing with us. And you can see here a few of the things that she said about us. And she was a brilliant student. She got really involved with everything. I think she was a student rep for marketing at one point. And yeah, she was absolutely brilliant. And it was great to have her with us. And she said, it's been one of the best decisions that I've taken academically and professionally. I always had an inclination towards marketing, and the course was offering me a specialization in strategy. And you can see here she talks a bit about her extended research project. She was looking at real business problems and solutions rather than just writing a thesis. So she got involved with her project, and she's now working as a researching analyst in Nielsen, which is a research market organization. So she's really working in her field of study, which is exciting. So I'll talk a bit now about our careers and the support you get when you study with us, and yeah, where you can go with your career after you graduate with us. So we were 9th in the UK for employability. We're top 10% for employer reputation within business and management studies, and 91% of graduates were in graduate level jobs or further study within 15 months after graduating. I think because we are a research intensive Russell Group university, a degree from us really does stand out and is really attractive to employers. So no doors are closed to you in your field of interest. So we have a dedicated careers service, and which gives you support and advice from day one. The careers service can help you find opportunities, internships, jobs. They can help you write your CV. There's a huge amount. Obviously, there is still work that you need to do yourselves, but the careers service can help you prepare for interviews. They can help you with your CV writing. They can help you find a career that you might be interested in, and plan your career journey. So there's a huge amount that our careers service can do for you. We also have the Bristol Plus Award, which recognises extracurricular activity completed throughout your studies. So this could be joining a society, or it could be doing something outside of the university, but there's a huge amount there as well. So I'll talk a bit now about the professional liaison network. So this is different to our careers service, but the PLN offers subject-specific opportunities for some of our programs. So for example, for marketing and business analytics students at postgraduate level, it gave them an opportunity to undertake an exciting project with one of our leading industry partners. And with insight talks and events, so lecturers from leading professionals who use their degree in the workplace. So there's a huge amount of opportunity there as well. Some of the destinations of students from the School of Management, they work in a huge variety of different sectors like management consultancy, marketing, social enterprise, charity or non-for-profit, and further study, just to name a few, and can perform a variety of roles like managing people, data analysis, comms and marketing roles, entrepreneurship, and working with external companies. So our graduates have gone on to work in a wide range of organizations, including the United Nations, KPMG, Deloitte, Louis Vuitton, EY, PwC, and the WWF. So yeah, a really wide range. And like I said before, there's no doors in your kind of area of interest that are closed to you with a degree from Bristol, as long as you get good grades and you work hard, obviously. So we also have a worldwide alumni network. So the Bristol Alumni Network has nearly 170,000 graduates. I was a student at Bristol a few years ago. I did my undergraduate degree here, and I'm part of this network. And I can say it is brilliant. You get so many, you get information about talks that are going on, about opportunities that are available to you, and it's really, really great. It's a great way to connect with students from other countries as well, because the alumni come from 191 countries, which I think is pretty much every country in the world. Maybe we're missing a few. But yeah, it is brilliant. We have experts and influencers in every industry sector, and you can connect with alumni through our in-country network. So yeah, and for example, within the School of Management, we have the Discovery Series, so the future of work. So there are alumni events that are specific to you once you've graduated. So yeah, your journey at Bristol doesn't really stop when you graduate. You're still able to be involved with the community, which I think is really great, and a really great way to keep in touch with your old university. So now I'll talk a bit more about the fun things. So Bristol Students' Union. Now, it is a brilliant place, the Students' Union. We have a really big Students' Union with over 400 societies, and it's one of the largest in the country. Sorry, 350 clubs and societies. So you can find pretty much anything you want. You automatically become a member of the Students' Union, which offers representation within the university and nationally, the International Students Network, Just Ask, which is the academic advice service, Bristol SU Lettings, which is the friendly, fair and professional letting service that we have ourselves, and access to a membership card that allows you thousands of discounts across the country. So that's the kind of the official side of it. In terms of the sports and clubs and societies that we offer, we have one of the highest numbers of societies and sports clubs in the country, which total over 350. These include familiar activities like football, drama, debating, but we also have lots of other groups covering all sorts of interests and skills, such as dance, food, drink, business, enterprise, language, culture, well-being, and faith. We have a cheese society, a Pokemon society, and we have a Quidditch society. So there's so much available to you. You can find the full list of clubs and societies on our website. I've also put some of the ones that might be of interest to you students who are living in India. So we have Hindu, Tamil, Bollywood, Indian Society, Women in Leadership, Management, and the Economics, Finance and Manage Society, which is the biggest society in the whole Students' Union. And you know, if there's a society that you want that isn't there or isn't listed, you can make one yourself. And that's what's so brilliant about this. You have the autonomy to make a society. So if there is something that you want that you haven't found, just make one yourself with some friends that you have. So we are now coming to the end of today's presentation. You can see here, so if you go to bristol.ac.uk/virtual-tour, you can see a way, because I know it's going to be hard for some of you to come from India to visit our campus, but you can have a virtual tour and you can see where in the university our accommodation is, where our buildings are, and where your teaching will be. So this is just an example of some of the things that you can do using our website. So yeah, thank you so much to everyone for listening. I really appreciate your time. I know I've spoken for quite a long time, but I hope you're still with me and that you have lots of questions, because we now have, about half an hour to answer any of your questions. And you can see here information about how to get connected. So there is the link to the management website. We've got the India office email address and the international office email address. Generally for you, I'd probably recommend contacting the India office, as they will be on the same time zone as you, because they are based in India, but you can also contact the international office and we can help as well. And you can see here our contact details for Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and also LinkedIn if you want to join with us on there. So yeah, thank you everyone so much for listening. And yeah, I'll actually invite Neil now, who is the Director of Doctoral Studies at the University of Bristol, to join me. He's been very kind in joining me today, so he'll be able to answer any queries you have about, well, research and study, and I can also help with that. So yeah, thank you very much, and hello to Neil. But yeah, I think Deepika will be asking queries that have been submitted, so thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for such a knowledgeable presentation. We are now moving towards the Q&A session. The first question the student is asking: September intake application are open for MBA?
So we don't currently offer an MBA course. We are merging to become a business school, which is very exciting, and we'll have a soft launch in September 2022. So that is in a few months, but unfortunately we don't currently offer an MBA program. We do offer lots of different management programs. Perhaps Neil, you could talk a bit about the programs that we do offer.
Sure, it's probably a terminology element. So the MBA in the education sense and the career sense is often a post-career, mid-career option. We have an executive education part-time program for a small number of select executives each year. So I'm not sure this will be the audience we have today, but other than that, we have a number of sort of pre-career, as we sort of label them, sort of postgraduate courses, both from a generalist point of view in terms of management, and within that, there are various pathways that students can sort of take on, CSR, marketing, to name but two of the many. And we also have some sort of generalist postgraduate programs, principally aimed at people who are either straight out of their undergraduate or maybe a few years, sort of 5, 6, 7 years, perhaps in some cases, from their original undergraduate degree in a number of different fields. So we have a number of elements within our offer.
Thank you, Neil. The next question: what about the scholarships program for the international students?
Yeah, I can take this one. So we offer something called the Think Big Scholarship. Now, we have invested over £2 million in that scholarship over the last couple of years, and it's our kind of flagship scholarship. At undergrad level, we offer amounts of £5,000 and £10,000 per year. So that's for every year of your study with us. And at postgrad level, we offer amounts of £5,000, £10,000 and £20,000 per year. So it really does make a difference to the kind of the studies that you do with us. The Think Big Scholarship, you can apply for postgrad. There are 2 different rounds. So you need to have applied, but you don't need to have an offer. So you have to apply with us because you need a student number, but you don't need an offer. So you can apply before you've received an offer from us. But yeah, we do have the Think Big Scholarship. We also have lots of kind of subject specific scholarships, like in management, we have the Future Leaders Scholarship, for example, and there is funding for that as well, but it's not, I'd say Think Big is the biggest one that we have.
Thanks, Alina. The next question: should we have Gmat and Ielts mandatory for masters? I have 11 years of experience and 4 years of managerial experience.
Yeah, I'm happy to take this one as well if it's English language requirements. We do have English language requirements if English is not your first language. Now, there are certain exemptions to this. If you've been educated in English, for example, you can be exempt from providing English language proof. But generally, I would say if English isn't your first language and you haven't grown up in an English-speaking country, then I would say look at it like you will have to provide some kind of IELTS test. It doesn't have to be IELTS. We accept TEFL, various other qualifications, but different courses have different requirements. So you'd need to check the course or program information page and then see which profile applies to you and then look at that. So yeah, and we need, sorry, just to add, we need your English language requirements within 2 years of your study start date. So for example, if you're looking to start with us in 2023, so in September, we would need your requirements to have been achieved no earlier than September 2021, because otherwise we'd need something new to check that your English language is still of a level.
Thank you, Alina.
If I could jump in as well, just to echo that point, with the generalist and the specialist programs we offer at the PGT level, there are some important prerequisites, particularly for those specialist programs, for example, in terms of heavily quantitative skills and things. So please, again, look at the website and the prospectus according to the particular program.
Thanks, Neil and Alina. The next question: how will the course set up students for their future careers?
How will what, sorry?
How will the course set up the students for their future careers?
Yeah, I can answer a bit, and then Neil, you could say perhaps what academic support is available. But I like I spoke about in the presentation, we have a dedicated careers service, we have a professional liaison network. So there's a huge amount of support available to you during your studies. We are top 10 targeted by employers within the UK, so we are recognised as a really good university that creates good graduates. Obviously, it depends what you want to go into. The School of Management has a huge variety of courses, both at undergrad and postgrad level. So I'd recommend kind of deciding in what area you want to study and looking at that, because like Neil said, different courses have different levels of perhaps quantitative versus qualitative methods. And so it is important to know what you're studying. Neil, perhaps you'd like to add something?
Thank you. Yes, the within the School of Management and more generally, but also within the postgraduate offer that I'm speaking on behalf of today, we sort of blend that sort of cutting edge research with sort of cutting edge sort of educational practices. So what many of us are also researching education. So within that you have sort of access to the information and the knowledge and the development of the skill sets you will need in your future careers, but also in an environment that allows you to apply these, to practically sort of develop these skills, but also develop important things sort of through, for example, gamification, sort of experiential sort of learning, and working within teams is a key part, and collaborative sort of problem-solving exercises. So there are a number of sort of important knowledge elements that's drawn from our area of areas of research, but also in terms of our education, there are a number of sort of dare I say, sort of soft skill sort of development opportunities. And just by the by, but one particular program and one unit that I lead in particular is called the sort of academic personal and professional development, which is run across the MSc Management. And we do a number of sort of workshops with the students on that and get them to work through a number of sort of challenges as teams, and particularly in the modern environment and the environment we are currently operating within, this sort of 4D sort of teamwork environment, and getting them some understanding of the principles, but also looking to apply and experience some of those principles firsthand before they take them into their future careers.
Thanks. The next question: how does assessments work for the management department?
Would that be in relation to the type of assessments we provide, I would imagine? So the assessments, we have a range of assessments. We've moved away from heavy burden sort of final end of term exams, and we have various assessments from the point of view of team-based tasks, individual tasks, whether these are essays or reports. Because of the educational orientation and the educational research we are pushing, but also we are drawing upon, we have a number of more innovative approaches, and we are looking to, as we should, as any education establishment should, we constructively align those with the content of the course and also with the intended learning outcomes of the course. So there are a number of options, and the School of Management and the university website provide a number of examples of the different types of assessment on offer as we look to sort of shape assessment and shaping what we're looking to assess, that is sort of assurance of learning approach. It was shaped that to actually sort of to suit what we're looking to ultimately create in our graduates. A couple of examples: we have sort of assessments based upon the creation of podcasts. We have assessments based upon as a group or as an individual, the creation of sort of infomercials targeted at a particular audience type, as well as your sort of more standard traditional sort of research papers, presentations. But there's a variety there. We're not simply focusing on the sort of the end of term, end of unit final exam. It's very much focused on what we're looking to teach you, what we're looking to skill-wise looking for you to develop, but fundamentally also the discipline and the content covered.
Yeah, thank you, Neil. And just to add very quickly to that, if you do want more information about the units that you might cover and how they're assessed, you can actually find that on our website. So if you go to the course information page, scroll about halfway down, there's a link and it will say either program structure or course structure. And if you click on that, you'll see all the units available to you and what you can study and which ones are mandatory and which ones are optional. And then if you click further into each one, it will tell you how each unit is assessed. So yeah, there's a huge amount of information available.
Thank you. The next question. Are there on-campus accommodation for postgraduate students with a child and a family?
Right. Yeah, so generally, the accommodation guarantee only applies if you're a postgraduate international student coming to Bristol and you're on your own. We can't guarantee accommodation if you're coming with a family. We can help you find things, and we do offer some family accommodation, but it's not a guarantee. What I'd recommend doing is if you do apply, to get in touch with the international office and we can give further advice on where to look for accommodation and what might be suitable for you. But yeah, it's not a guarantee, but we will even if we can't give you direct accommodation, we will help you look for stuff in the right place.
Thanks, Alina. The next question. Is work experience required for an MBA and how many years? So let's assume MBA as master's program.
First and foremost, the prerequisites on the school website will focus on the type of experience, if it is indeed needed or not. Generally speaking, there are not requirements to have a certain level of experience, but then it also can help the caliber and the quality of the applicant. A number of the students who I've been teaching this year have experience 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. A number have sort of more recently come from their undergraduate, but perhaps an undergraduate setting that has allowed them to take on internships or a placement year. So there's a variety, and we look to harness that variety within the classroom. But I very much ask you to focus on the particular program materials online, which will target those any specific requirements they do have in terms of content of curricula you may have studied before, or indeed experience. The exec education element is a bit different. That's a very sort of specialized program. Again, further details are available on the website, but that's often a cohort of up to 20 individuals, executives, and that's again, it is currently open as well, but they do vary depending on the journalists and specialists, but also the pre-career and mid-post-career offers we have.
Thank you, Neil. The next question. What makes the management department at the University of Bristol unique?
Good question. Yeah, please take it. Yeah.
If I could sort of take a personal point of view, as a recent arrival, I sort of spent 15 years working within various London business schools, and I think it's very much its unique offering as in terms of its research. There are a number of unique centres within it which they bring to the classroom. It has a number of fundamental elements that we would associate with a leading school of management within the UK, or indeed within the world. But I think that what is unique is the environment, the nature of some of the teaching, and the sort of small focus on small classroom interactive teaching elements. Some of the more innovative aspects of our teaching differentiates us from other business schools that I've had the privilege of working for. It's also that link within the community, both within the University of Bristol community. We mentioned the sort of the network and the various sort of other sort of Bristol Plus aspects that are available to students, but also within the broader city of Bristol, and that sort of civic connection that the School of Management, as well as the wider university, has ongoing relationships with, in terms of its research, in terms of its links, in terms of the opportunities it can provide its students.
Thanks, Neil. The next question. Details about construction project management.
Just more details about that program. I think generally I would say if students want more details about any of our programs, to get in touch with us via email. So to get in touch with the India office or the international office, just because obviously we offer a lot of different programs and I don't want to talk too long about an individual program, and that might not be relevant to everyone else in the webinar. Could you, Deepika, what was the name of the program? Sorry.
Construction project management.
Yes, so we have a project management program, but we don't have a construction project management program. But yeah, if you want more information, I'd recommend getting in touch and we can give you more information via email.
Thank you, Lena. The next question: does the student has to wait until the university issues unconditional offer letter to book the accommodation, or conditional offer letter is enough?
Conditional is enough. So you apply, and you apply by the deadlines that are on our website, and then your accommodation isn't confirmed until your unconditional offer letter has come through, but you can apply before you have an unconditional offer.
Thanks. The next question: when does the booking for accommodation opens?
It depends. So undergrad is normally the start of June that it opens. So it's open to most of our undergrad students now, and it's normally open until the end of July. And then you apply and then you'll hear normally in August whether it's been confirmed or not, because that's when a lot of the results come through. Postgrad is slightly different. Postgrad is open kind of on a more rolling basis, but it's open now and again open towards the end of kind of June, July. Well, Postgrad is often open later because international students have a deadline of the end of July to apply. So you can apply for accommodation up in kind of August time. So Postgrad's slightly different, but yeah, all of the exact dates, again, they're on our website, but generally that's the timeline that we're looking at.
Thank you, Alina. The next question is quite similar, which we have covered in the above chat, but if you want to add something else to this question. So the question is, can I bring my daughter and husband to live with me while I'm studying here, like in the UK?
Yes, so you absolutely can. Again, we can't guarantee that we can put you up in accommodation, but you absolutely can bring your family with you to Bristol when you come and study. There's nothing stopping you from doing that.
Thank you. The next question: kindly speak about fee discount scholarship, which you measure in the introduction. How can I benefit from a discount or a scholarship?
So I spoke a bit about this in the presentation. You have to apply for any of the scholarships that we offer. We don't offer like a fee discount, an automatic fee discount, but we do offer scholarships. So you will need to apply for those through our website. And this is, you can apply for it as soon as you've applied for a place on a course with us. You don't need to wait to get an offer. But yeah, we have different amounts of scholarships available. And essentially what you're asked to do is to answer 3 questions, each of which is marked out of 10 points. So you write a kind of, I'd say, a short essay, a few paragraphs in response to the question, and it's often, what have you done to prove that you are committed to your subject? What have you done to be a good ambassador and what to the university, or what will you do, and what are you planning to do after you graduate? It tends to be questions along those lines, and then we mark you out of 10 and then give out scholarships based on how well you do on each of those questions.
Thanks, Alina. So few of the students want to know about few courses that are these courses available in University of Bristol. So the first course is supply chain management. The second one is MSc biotechnology, and the third one is data science.
The first one, yes. The other 2 I can't comment on, and they're not part of our School of Management portfolio, as far as I'm aware.
Thank you, Neil. The next question: could you highlight on scholarship program available for postgraduate in MSc Economics?
Sits outside of the School of Management, so I'm not that familiar with the subject-specific economics scholarships. However, I do know I work quite closely with the School of Economics, and I do know that obviously the Think Big scholarships applies to them, so you can apply for Think Big. And I also think they have school-specific
yeah, thank you.
economics. So
yeah, can I take the next question? Hello.
yes.
Yeah. So yeah, the next question is, how many hours of work can I get a week? I think it is 20 hours, but Alina will confirm. And also, will that be enough for me to bear my expenses and the fees?
Oh, in terms of working part-time, yeah, so an international student on a visa can work up to 20 hours part-time. And that's, you know, I would recommend not doing 20 hours a week because that's quite a lot. But you can do that. I have to be honest, it's not going to be enough to cover your you will definitely need some kind of financial aid in that sense. Unfortunately, no part-time job is going to pay you enough to cover your international tuition fees and your accommodation and your living costs. You can work. I think working for the university is a really good option because we are flexible with your hours, and you can be an ambassador and we pay quite well. So that's a good option for you. But yeah, it's not going to be enough to cover all of your costs.
Thank you, Lena. The next question. Hi, I just wanted to know which campus we will be studying on our master's program, and do we have any WhatsApp group for the students joining in September 2022?
Yeah, so the first part of the question, if you're studying...
Alina, your voice is not coming. I think there's some issue with your headphone.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. I think I put myself on mute by accident. So yes, you can, if you're studying management with us, you'll be on the Clifton campus, which is right in the centre of the city and is a really lovely place to study. And I think the second question was about the India WhatsApp group. Yes, we are hosting India-specific WhatsApp groups for our students. Again, I would recommend emailing the India-office email that's up on the screen now, because they will be able to put you in that. Our team, they're called Devesh and Shweta, and they work in India and they work for us and they organize all of that. So get in touch with them and they'll be able to help you.
Thanks, Alina. The next question. I have completed master's course from India. I want to do masters from it there. I have given, okay, so he wants to pursue his masters from UK. I have given Duolingo, in which my score is 110 in all. Can I get admission in September intake in IT field?
Yeah, so we don't accept Duolingo at the moment. We did at some points during COVID, because obviously it was very difficult for people to get to centres to study, to kind of do their English language tests in person, but we don't currently accept the Duolingo test score. So you will need to do another kind of test, be that Ielts or TEFL. But yeah, we don't accept Duolingo.
Thanks. The next question. Is there a good opportunity for diploma students?
I'm not entirely sure what that student means by diploma. Is that like a high school graduate thing, or I don't entirely know what that means. I'm sorry.
Like after 12th, if a student has pursued diploma course, not his or her graduation.
Is that a high school level? Is that like an
like after high school? Yeah, undergraduate diploma.
Okay, maybe not for postgraduate studies. We would consider it for undergrad studies, but again, we don't pre-assess, so I can't sort of say, oh, we definitely would or we definitely wouldn't. If this person is interested, I would recommend emailing us so we can have a look at their qualifications and see whether we can consider them.
Thanks, Alina. The next question. I applied few days back to the university. When can I expect offer letter?
I'm assuming this person has applied for postgrad because all our undergrad courses are closed. We aim to get decisions out at the moment within 6 weeks. Obviously, we're hoping to get that out quicker because it's quite late in the year, and we know that you need to get your visa and your CAS sorted. So we will aim to get it out as soon as possible. But unfortunately, I can't be any more specific than that. But thank you for your application.
Thanks. The next question. Do you offer English course preparation before starting studying at the university?
Yes, we do. We offer something called a pre-sessional course. So we offer courses that are 6 weeks or 10 weeks in length. And you still have to have a certain level of English to get onto those pre-sessional courses. You can't just show up without any proof of English language. But we do offer those courses. For this year, 2022 entry, the pre-sessionals have started, or the applications have closed. But for next year, they will open from March, April time. And then normally they're in June and July, the pre-sessional courses.
If I can
please.
jump in as well, within the programs as well, there's a lot of student support and learning support. So, for example, the course I mentioned previously that I myself run, we are running side by side with an academic literacy and language course. So it's more than just language. It's actually focusing on aspects of learning, writing, understanding, critical thinking, critical reading, and so forth. So that's as one example of the additional support that's provided in addition to those pre-sessionals mentioned just now.
Thank you, Neil and Alina. The next question. Is it possible to get a full ride scholarship for international students doing a bachelor's there? I mean, in the UK.
Not from one scholarship with us. If you're sponsored, that might cover all your tuition fees, but it's not. We don't offer a specific scholarship that will cover all your fees. Like I said, at undergrad level, we have amounts of £5,000 or £10,000 per year. So that's taken off every year of your tuition fee studies, but that won't cover everything. So you might want to apply for multiple scholarships, and you might want to look into sponsors from outside of the university to sponsor you to help you pay for your tuition fees as well.
Thank you. The next question. What are the post-study immigration rules for master's student?
The post-study immigration rules. So like I said, sorry, go on, Neil.
So they might apply to the graduate scheme you mentioned earlier within the 2-year window of successful completion of their program.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So you have the right to work in the UK for 2 years after you successfully complete your course or program with us. After that, you'd need to look at applying for a work visa.
Thank you. The next question. I already have an MBA in marketing with 8 years of work experience. I want to specialize in marketing. Can I apply for MSc marketing, and what scholarships are offered? Like he already have a master's in India, and now he wants to pursue a double master's from UK and with 8 years of experience. So if there is any scholarship you can grant.
Well, again, we don't guarantee scholarships and we can't give out scholarships immediately. This person would need to apply for a Think Big scholarship and write the answers to the questions, and then we would assess those answers and then award accordingly. I would, I mean, if you want to pursue a double masters, it sounds like this person is qualified to apply, but again, have a look at our entry requirements and see whether the course is a fit for you.
I also jump in there, not wishing to deter a potentially valuable introduction to our school. I always recommend people to look closely at the curricula within our programs and look closely to what extent they fit, they complement, and indeed they overlap with a previous qualification. If your previous master's or MBA in marketing was again at a similarly cutting edge research orientated institution, whilst there'll be differences based upon the expertise we ourselves and your previous institution will be drawing upon, I always want to make sure our students are effectively informed of what we offer, where the differences reside. I wouldn't want an individual to choose us ill-informed and realizing they've covered certain aspects sort of already. They have maybe truly had a chance to focus on the key differences and the key value-adding elements that we offer.
We have covered all the questions from the chat box. Many thanks for answering all the questions so well and sharing your knowledge with us. So, Neil and Alina, we are now moving towards the end of the seminar. I would request if you have anything else you would like to put forward for the audience who are watching us live right now.
Shall I go first? Well, thank you for the opportunity to come in to speak to you and fielding your questions. From our side of things, we're always developing, we're always sort of moving forward, and as mentioned in the presentation, there are a number of very exciting developments going on. But that said, I also want to make sure that everyone is informed. They are choosing us for the correct reasons, and they are very aware of the key strengths and the key opportunities we are presenting. So as much as we can answer questions, and we're here to answer questions, and we're here to provide information if there are gaps within our offer, information offer, that is. I always do recommend, please do ensure you are informing yourselves through the web resources, through the School of Management at the University of Bristol resources, just to be clear of what you're going to be getting out of this and what you're expecting to get out of us. For example, particularly if you've got sort of previous experience and previous education, it's making sure you're managing your own expectations, and we can sort of help in that. Any additional information needs you might have.
Yeah, thanks, Neil. Yeah, just seconding what Neil said, really. It's really important. Obviously, it's a big decision to come to the UK and study. And so I think it's a really, really important that you know what you're looking at. But also, if you have, I mean, Bristol is a great place to study. And if you've already got an offer, or if you're looking to apply, then please don't hesitate to get in touch with us. If you've got any questions, if you're kind of not sure, you've got qualifications you're unsure about that we'll accept, please do get in touch. We're a really friendly team, and we're happy to help with anything, either the India office team or the international office team. So yeah, just to reiterate, to get in touch if you've got any questions. But thank you all for listening and for being here today.
Thank you for your kind words, Neil and Alina. To all the audience, if you have any further questions, please feel free to contact our SI UK India offices. We'll be more than happy to help you. In the end, I would like to say thank you so much for your valuable time today, everyone. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Take care.